Welcome along then to the last Formula One Grand Prix before the summer break, and what a Grand Prix it could be this afternoon. Round 13 of the Formula One season in 2022. It is the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's been won from pole 16 times out of the previous 36 races, and today features a brand new pole sitter in Formula One, George Russell, the 105th driver in F1 history to go and take pole position. Here's the track, 2.72 miles long. It dips down, it rises up, it goes through 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right, and at stages you just can't put your steering wheel straight because the corners come at you thick and fast all the way from turn 6 to turn 11. It's a lap distance at full throttle for 65% of the lap, and it could be wet by the start as well. This was last year, 10-pin bowling, Valtteri Bottas style. It was like Skittles being knocked out of the way as Esteban Ocon picked her way through to go on and take victory. This is the last year's battle, Mick Schumacher and Max Verstappen. They were scrapping over the points, and it got a little bit rough and tough at times. That was Mick Schumacher's best moment of the season last year, he said. This is Lewis Hamilton last year on Yuki Tsunoda going into the blind corner that is turn 4, and a brilliant move there from a man who has won here 8 times in the past. Now the tyres for this afternoon, hard is C2, medium is C3, soft is C4. Cooler conditions than it was on Friday, and the experts say that hard tyre might suffer in a track temperature that is round about 30 degrees down on the day they did their race simulations. Here's the grid then for the Hungarian Grand Prix this year, and Pierre Gasly will start from the pit lane after changing his power unit. Nicholas Latifi, fastest in FP3, slowest qualifier yesterday. Sebastian Vettel, for the first time since 2008, failed to reach Q3 here. He starts alongside Alexander Albon. And ahead of those, Yuki Tsunoda in 16th with Mick Schumacher in 15th for the 4th time this year. Lance Stroll qualified in Q2 for the first time in 8 races. He lines up alongside Kevin Magnussen. And ahead of these, Zhou Guanyu in 12th and Sergio Perez in 11th. Failed to reach Q3 here for the 7th time in his last 9 visits. Max Verstappen only 10th after an MGUK problem in his Red Bull yesterday. Daniel Ricciardo starts 9th, and Valtteri Bottas starts 8th after getting into Q3 for the first time in 7 races. It's 7th for Lewis Hamilton, and the Alpines in the top 6 on the grid for the first time this season. Alonso 6th, Ocon 3 places higher than he won from last year. Charles Leclerc starts 3rd with Lando Norris keeping him company, Norris equaling his best start of the season, and Carlos Sainz, who out-qualified his teammate for the 3rd time this year, lines up on the front row alongside the pole sitter George Russell. And it's lights out and away we go, and it's a decent reaction from George Russell and also from Carlos Sainz, who covers over his teammate Charles Leclerc. Now that could give Lando Norris a bit of a movement as he tries to get down the inside. Russell ahead, going around the outside, Charles Leclerc. Russell's got the inside line, defends and cuts off Carlos Sainz as Lewis Hamilton goes wide and then comes back onto the track behind Lando Norris in 4th. Decent start from Max Verstappen as well, who's making a move past Fernando Alonso and almost ahead of Esteban Ocon.
You can see immediately the Ferraris have fired their tyres up. They've got grip, they've got confidence. Russell really struggling.
Leclerc down at Red Bull for Max Verstappen to pit.
And George Russell pits as well onto the medium.
As Charles Leclerc stops. Leclerc inherited the lead of this race when George Russell made his stop. It's
that's in the middle of the track.
Out there at the moment for Yuki Tsunoda to have a bit of a spin just to Sergio Perez. No, he's had a little spin. I was going to say, he's the fastest man on the track. He's currently running ahead of Charles. Max Verstappen, from 10th on the grid, comes home to win the Hungarian Grand Prix.
As well, we remain calm, even with some little issues with the clutch and the upshifts as well, which we had to manage the whole race.
The first stint I struggled, I think with the medium tyre was not the right one to start the race on, particularly in those temperatures. So that was difficult, and it looked like I made those. I've overtaken a couple cars and they got stuck behind Lando, and then just couldn't get close. Then obviously Max was closing on me, then he undercut me, and I was thinking, damn, yeah, this is not great for the win, which I was hoping to try and catch up. But that second half really was able to turn it around. Balance was much better, and that last stint was epic.
It was a bit tricky at the beginning, and we pulled a big gap to the cars around, and I thought it was great, but unfortunately the rain kind of slowly stopped. The medium runners caught us up. We had to react and pit quite early, which was the right decision, but then it put us really on the back foot for that last stint when the rain came again on the very old medium tyres. Today we had